Welcome to this look at a new mod map to Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. This is the Plantation by Gamer Designs, 81.48 megabytes to download. This has been ported over, converted over from FS19. And just to clarify, this is a tree plantation, no other kind of plantation. The map looks like this. I'm on New Farmer, and we do start with a fair bit of stuff, I'm not going to lie. This plot of land here, which is where your kind of main farm is 58 grand. We do start with fields 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 as well on New Farmer. We do start with this plot of land here with some forestry already on the go. And we do start with these plots of land that have some sell points on. This section here is the periphery, the verges, 185,000. You get this plot here, that strip, the roadways, and this point out here for the 185 grand. But on Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, obviously you don't have any of that at all. But if you come onto your own Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, these plots aren't owned, and the icons aren't showing either on any of these. So once you've bought them, the icons will appear. The buildings are still there, everything's there, but the icons don't. We'll talk about slot count in a little while. As far as prices go, this is predominantly a forestry map. However, we do have some contracts available down here at this section. With some fields, and obviously we've got the fields we start with on New Farmer, if you come onto on New Farmer. But as far as plots go for forestry, we've got some small plots to get you going, if you don't obviously start with that one there. We're going to sort of go to some medium ones, and even as we get onto the slightly larger ones, they're not hugely expensive. So you can kind of gradually build your way up to some of these real big ones. But even those massive ones, that's 587 grand, 300,000. So yeah, not too bad at all, really, when you think about it. I'm going to whiz across to here. We've got this large building, this open area here. If you buy the verges and you get all this, you can put production chains, anything you like. So vast open space. The reset point is on this bit here as well. So be aware, some points probably won't let you to put placeables, but there's plenty of room. We have in this large shelter building. Oh, I haven't got them turned on. That would help, wouldn't it? We've got a workshop trigger just in there. So that's your workshop trigger. And all the way over here, we've got our vehicle store. So the reset point is on sort of this area here. It's not right next to the vehicle store. It's kind of out in the open. Plenty of space for large machinery. We've got a gas station, fuel tank over there for purchasing of fuel. I'm going to lease a vehicle because it's going to be a little bit easier to get to where we're going. As you can see, that's where the vehicle spawned. And we'll drive over and have a look at that side. So as I've already said, contracts are available. There are no mods added in by the map maker. So there's no, or map makers, there's no vehicles, no machinery, and nothing under build mode either. So it's all standard in-game stuff. This is fixed in place, this sawmill. But we've got sawmill for production chain or just a sell point. If you buy it for production chain, all good. And then further down here, we've got a sell point for wood chip added on the end. So that's a sell point for wood chip. So normally you run your production chain on for your sawmill. It will produce pallets of planks with wood chip as a byproduct, which you can take out there. But on this map, we have also got a wood chip sell point just there. From here, we're going to head out. So the bottom half of the map, there's a river that runs across the top part of the map. The bottom half of the map, south of the river, is all plantation. So as you can see, you've got various different tree types, all in plantation, lined up in nice, neat rows. As we go north of the river, it becomes a little bit more wild and it's kind of just natural forest. Now it does say on the details here, some ditches fill with water during rainy weather, which is an interesting one. As I've been going around having a look at the map, I haven't had any rain yet, but some of them will, which is pretty cool. Something a bit different. So we're heading east. Clint. Eastwood. You're welcome. So we're going to go up there in a little while, but we're going to take in the next points of interest. Starting just here. So we've got a kind of, I suppose, a secondary farm. You could have this as a farm area if you wanted to. This has got a small fuel tank, which is empty, but you can fill it up. I think this is it a 10 or 15? I can never remember this one. Oh, it's only 5,000. 5,000 litre small fuel tank. We've got a Karma 16 silo, 27,300 litres. That's normally seed or mineral feed you can put into that. There is a house here. Now, even if you buy this plot of land, there's no sleep trigger, but there are plenty of modded sleep triggers. You can put a sleep trigger down, and you've got this plot that you can then put whatever you want on buildings and stuff as well. So this is where your contract fields are down here. So if you start buying those up, obviously you're then going to lose contracts. But if you don't do contract work, that's not too much of an issue. This plot of land here, the fields are separate and not too expensive, as you can see. But this plot that the house is on is that huge area with forestry as well, 298,000, which isn't, again, not too bad at all. Right over, just over the brow of the hill, down to the corner of the fields, there's a water tank. You just see the little blue disc icon there. So for buying water, and again, there's loads of modded water, standpipes, tanks, various different things for your water. If you don't want to use the ones that are on the map, you don't have to. Carrying on east. Whoa. Nothing to see here. We're going to come to one of two sell points. So as we whiz all the way around here, we come to the sell all point. So anything can be sold here. All your crop types, pallets, those kind of things can all be sold here. It does say Johnson's Farmers Market, but it's a sell all point is what it's written down as on the menu. And then we've got a wood sell point here as well. So as well as the sawmill, if you just want to sell your wood, but actually it's a good point. Let's have a look at pricing. Obviously it will fluctuate depending on whether you've got actually prices are pretty much the same, the sawmill and sell all point. If one was vastly higher than the other, then I would say I would definitely sell here. But obviously if you're then going to run the sawmill and you want your pallets of planks and that kind of stuff, then you're going to want to use the other one. That is just for lumber. You're not going to make any pallets there. So continuing back, we're going to go to, or continuing on, heading back where that fork in the road was. So this is it's a nice split between your forestry and your farming. So again, it's one of those maps, if you don't want to do the forestry, there is farming available. You can clear trees and you can open it up much more. If you want to have that kind of blend between the two, it's your choice, of course it is. So next up, we've got the GCHB grain elevator sell point, just in here. You can buy this plot of land as well. Oh yeah, collectibles. And so if you want to put placeables and stuff on the plot of land, you need to buy the land first. There are 100 collectibles. Continuing on, we're heading north. Well, we're heading north-west-ish. North is kind of that way. We've got the animal dealer to the right-hand side. Again, you can buy that plot. So if you want to put placeables down on there, silos, manure pits, buy points for manure, slurry, anything like that, or anything at all you like. There's your animal dealer. And then we go on to the farm you start with on New Farmer. Now, we can talk about slot count and stuff now. If you come onto here on New Farmer, it's 807. And you start with all this machinery and equipment, some machinery and equipment up in the forest there. You start with this shelter, those buildings all over there. If you come onto your own farm mode, you'll start from scratch. The slot count drops to 628. You don't have any of the start machinery, you don't have any of the buildings, so this is all open. And obviously, on those two modes, you won't own the land either. So, be aware of that. But then, if you want to come on there and do a sort of start from scratch, you can then gradually build up, and you can put whatever building silos and stuff on you want to. Now, something I will say, actually, we'll have a look at the machinery first, and I'll say that. So we do have rubber. It's rubber or lemkin. It's a lemkin cultivator. We've got a Dagelman rock picker, clamp kipper trailer. We do have a cedar. We have a rear butterfly mower, but not a front one, and two John Deeres. If we actually go in and have a look at our menu here, so we've got a 7R330, 7R270. We do have a Mack Superliner. We do have a Ponce Cobra and a Bison active frame, and then the trailers and stuff we've seen. We do have a timber on a trailer as well. That's a little bit further over where the logging has been commenced. So you can just about see the red over there in the distance, and just over there you can see the Cobra. Now, so what I was going to say was, the only thing I've found, now I don't know whether these are supposed to be separate tracks, so like a kind of one in, one out, or it was supposed to have been done like tyre tracks. If it was supposed to have been done as tyre tracks, I can only imagine the size of vehicle that caused these tyre tracks. And it's the same pretty much across the farm. Now, if it was intended that these were separate lanes, separate trackways, then fair enough. But I just get the feeling it's just too big. The scale's off on these if it is supposed to be tyre tracks. But again, it's a tiny thing, it's a minor thing. And if you don't like it like that, you can always landscape it out. You can always grass over it, paint it, grass over it, and then put your own ones in if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you. Right down there, you see a blue disc off in the distance. There's a water tank down there. We do have a standard in-game hayloft, 250,000 litre. We do have our sleep trigger just here. And as we come over, we've got a Farmer 400 silo, 400,000 litre capacity. And we've got a liquid fertiliser storage tank. That's a... what's that? 173,500. That's right, isn't it? I better check that. 173, I'm sure it is. Yeah, 173,500. There's nothing in it, but you can have it filled or fill it yourself if you want. What else have we got? Got another small fuel tank, and we have got a horse pasture. The horse pasture here will hold 5 horses. Will require water because it is a pasture, so feed and water if you want to run horses. And then we're going to head up and have a look at the forestry equipment that we start with. Now, where have we been so far? We started off here at the main area. Went out to the vehicle store, had a look across there to the fuel station, across to the sawmill, then out. We followed it all the way around there to the sort of secondary farm area, fields down there, out to the sell-all point and the wood bit, which was just there, back round and up to the GCHB grain elevator, animal dealer, and then we came out across here. As you can see, the water tank's just down there, that little icon was there, and all the buildings we just talked about. So now we're going to head up there to this bit of forestry we own on New Farmer, and that's where your Bison and your Cobra are, and your Mack truck and timber runner trailer. There's plenty of room for massive machinery, whatever it is you want to be using. So there we go. Timber runner trailer is sitting there waiting. Our Cobra and Bison out there ready to get going on some logging. So that's where you'll find those. If we continue north, the river I was talking about that runs across the top of the map, got a couple of crossing points, 2 or 3 crossing points. And this is where the plantations end. So our plantations of various different sizes and different tree types, I'm just going to cut across the back here. When we cross the river, we are, as I said, into the more wild countryside, and it's not plantation based, it's just more randomly spaced trees. Out to the north, both sides. We come back to the map and have a look. So we come up through there, out around there, and just over. Have we got a crossing point out there? Oh no, we haven't. Now, on the previous version, I'm pretty sure I drove all the way out on that track out to there. You've got like a cut right the way across, whether it's a fire break or whether it's telegraph poles. I can't remember what was along there. But it's worth going out, just have a look, having a bit of a, we've got a big old lake area there as well. All the logging you can do to the north. So if you get to a point you're thinking these nicely, neat, lined up rows of trees on the plantations are driving me insane, I want to go a little bit more random, then you might want to come north and do the random stuff. Clear it all and then plant stuff in nice neat rows. It's entirely up to you, but that's the map. That's the plantation by Gamer Designs. I don't think I've missed anything. No, talked about the ditches filling with water. Is it worth whizzing out? It's that fire break. Might take a little while to get there. So this turn in here, I think it is. Now, I only ever did the map tour on this previous version. I didn't play on the map itself. I'm racking my brains thinking, I'm pretty sure the previous version didn't have all the fields. I'm sure it was just tree plantations. And it didn't have as many sell points, and the original version, I know it was updated, didn't have a livestock market, but I think the updated version did get a livestock market. Some of it has remained the same. Obviously, then there's the addition of the sawmill with production chains and stuff that we get with FS22. And then all the options with regard to whatever it is you want to add in. So, you know, there is that scope. It's not a full pioneer map because it has, you know, it's a regimented plantation. And you do start with land and you do start with farm fields and stuff like that. But there's a nice blend of both, which I think works. Actually, if we cut through here, I think we can see. Yeah. There we go. Just another little feature to add in. And that's the map. That's the plantation by Gamer Designs. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.